Hello Fests, and welcome back to the fourth movement now. We're getting through the Janacek, so I hope you're pleased with yourselves. We're certainly getting it under our fingers, and each sectional that we meet and play through the rest of the movements again, it just sort of cements what we've been doing. So I hope you feel we've achieved something. So the fourth movement, a bit more presto, a bit more fun. And what I thought I'd do is it's in three distinct sections. You've got this presto, then in the middle you've got an andante, and then you're back to the presto again, and we end with the presto exciting finish. So what I would do is, we did the first half of the presto. I'm going to do up to the andante, I think. So I won't do the repeat, and I'm going to go a steady speed for you. The only real difficulty at the beginning is, this first half of the presto, after the double bar, is just finding your notes. And I think 58 to 61 is a little bit tricky, so just take your time with that. But then with these long minim phrases, it's about finding your notes and just kind of working out where the next bits are. I've put in some fingering to help that. So if I play from the start, I'm going to go to the second time bar and right through to the andante. So that takes us up to the andante. I was a whisker under tempo, and there's nothing too tricky really. Again, keep it light, and these accents after the double bar I'm really doing more with my vibrato than anything else because they're piano. Then it's just getting up to at 48. You need to just get up. If you're in third position, then just whisk your first finger up to that 4, and then you're over. Then I've split the slur in 52 and 53 so that you end up on the right bow, otherwise you're doing it all upside down and that's kind of annoying. And then straight down to second position, it works really nicely. And then bar 58, really just work this out. It's not too bad, just light and just... My brain gave out there. Just come down to first position when you can. And then I think I was even a little loud for the PP that's after that, really quiet. And what you're doing is you're putting that phrase, and then the cellos are then answering. And it's going to build, obviously. We build to fortissimo. So I think this one can be really soft and beautiful. Little bulge and then come away. And then do the opposite bowing, up bow. And come away. And then did you see I just quickly laddered my way up? And this is the hardest one. Just get up there as fast as you can and just check the note before you come crashing in on the FF. And really, you can push it, pull in a bit here, and then fast bow on the top note. And don't worry about being too fortissimo, because if you really push in there, it's not going to work. So, yeah, don't worry too much about fortissimo. And then hopefully the fingering, if you then put your second finger on that B flat, then you've got third finger over, then you've got your first fingers ready for the A. Just pull your first finger back slightly for the E flat, and then I would come to third position. So that's the first presto section. Now the andante, it's tempting to go nice and sort of not too slowly and think, okay, andante, let's not sort of hang about. But if you notice at 137, I think it is, you've got this horrible bit. And it's quite random because everyone else, I think, is carrying on the lovely sort of lilting theme, and you just go kind of crazy, and it doesn't necessarily fit that well, I don't think. It's like Janacek wanted to try and be interesting without really writing anything decent. Well, that might be a bit rude. What I would do is make sure you play pianissimo there, and really don't worry too much about the notes because they don't even really fit anyway. So I would just, it's a kind of burbling, I think, if that's a technical term. He's sort of got this busy sort of little running melody underneath, and that's you. And I think just don't stress about it too much. We'll get there. So if I go for the andante and play right to the end of the andante before we get back to the presto, I'll go nice and steady. And then the pianissimo bit. Okay, so the pianissimo, I have to admit, I didn't get all the notes, and you know, it's just such a random weird bit that I think I wouldn't sweat too much. I would be very light, let your fingers sort of run, and don't sweat too much, because you know, if you miss a few notes, really it doesn't fit, and I would just let just sort of get a rough gist. And I think that's the key. The worst thing you can do is go kind of panicky. And we're going to kind of fall on our faces if we're not careful. So really lighten everything, soften everything, and just don't worry too much. So that was a bit more successful. And I think that's maybe I panicked a little bit and went a little bit fast the first time. So I think just keep it very steady and not panicked. At 141, actually 140, I've got you going up the A string. So you're on a 2 at 141. And then it's just a little extension to that to get the F. You're just going to extend your fourth finger. And then third finger next door. Then extend again, then a 2, then first position. And I think that's what I worked out is the easiest, to go up there. Then you don't need to shift. And you're just, it's all under the fingers, just a little stretch. And I think, you know, don't sweat too much because it really doesn't matter. And then you're very sweet at, after that, this bit, the pianissimo. Just really float those bows and stroke. Almost like it's a dream gone away into nothing. Then we have the return of the presto. Now, there's not much new to start with. In fact, really, it's just the end, the last little bit. So I'll go a nice sort of nice-ish speed for you. took the lampshade out. One of my pupils that I teach, she takes the chandelier out every week, which is always fun. I'll just move myself a little bit out of the way. Now we need to finish, but just that last bit, that last line. Find your harmonic. You've got 4 whole bars just to check really quietly. Have I got the harmonic? And then really try and ring. I've kept you at the heel. I debated about doing it at the up bow because that might work quite nicely. Maybe we could try it. Kind of you get more sound, but I think we need to keep the kind of bouncy nature. So I think here, but keep your arm and elbow up quite high and ring. And it's quite easy to be chippy, so watch out. Stroke. And then come off and round, elbow up and stroke. Don't squash, don't sweep. So come off that dotted mini-moly and sweep. So I hope that gives you some tips of how to do this presto, and it's a great fun piece. And I think just don't panic when we get to 138 around there, 137. Almost just let it sort of float away and float out for your fingers. Don't. It's almost, you could almost sort of play it like. And really it's a sort of bit of nonsense. So yeah, I don't spend hours and hours learning every note because it's not worth it. If you listen, you'll hear what I'm talking about. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful, and I really look forward to seeing you on Thursday, and we can maybe run more of the movements and get some speed going in this presto, hopefully. Bye for now.